Construction Acer Iconia Tab A3. The screen size of the novelty from Acer is an impressive 10 inches diagonally, which is rarely found in inexpensive models. At the same time, it is made on the basis of a high-quality LCD matrix made using IPS technology. Another plus in the treasury of the advantages of the device. Viewing angles and color reproduction are excellent, brightness and contrast are also on top. What did the manufacturers save on? In this case, at a resolution of a modest 1280 by 800 pixels. Is it a lot or a little? On the one hand, it is much less than the notorious retina. On the other hand, the obtained value of dots per inch density, equal to 150, is 1.5 times higher than that of an average office monitor. The screen has a capacitive touch panel that distinguishes 10 simultaneous touches. Quite wide margins are left along the edges of the screen, about a couple of centimeters on each side. Most likely, this was done on purpose. After all, it is very convenient to hold the tablet for them with one hand, without causing the touch screen to operate. At the same time, the hand practically does not get tired, since the weight of the tablet is only 560 grams, which is quite a bit for a device of this size. Its thickness is also small, just over 10 millimeters. With such parameters, it is already possible to compete on equal terms with the top devices of famous brands, the dimensions and weight of which are approximately the same. All external interfaces are concentrated on the left side of the case. The latter included a micro USB connector, a 3.5mm stereo headphone jack, micro HDMI, and a micro SD memory card slot. There, at the top, there is a small power button, and below, a slotted hole of one of the speakers, closed from the inside with a fine mesh and a small hole in the reset button, which can be pressed with the end of a paper clip. The second speaker, paired with the first, is exactly opposite, on the right side of the case. They sound quite loud, one might even say too much. Given the small number of volume levels in the operating system, this can cause certain inconveniences. At the first division, the sound is still too loud, and at a division less, it is completely turned off. The volume key is also located on the right, at the top. The tablet is equipped with two digital cameras, front and rear. The first one has a VGA resolution and is suitable only for video communication, but the second one has quite decent 5 megapixels, without autofocus. The location of the rear camera is somewhat unconventional, in the upper right corner, when viewed from the back cover. This allows you to use it with the same convenience, holding the tablet in both landscape and portrait positions, but it takes some getting used to the fact that it is necessary to aim at the subject not from the center of the tablet, but from the angle. Above the webcam, you can see a microphone hole, exactly like the hole in the reset button. If you want to restart the device, be careful not to confuse hardware. Acer Iconia Tab A3 is based on the MediaTek MT8125T chip, which consists of 4 ARM Cortex-A7 cores operating at a frequency of 1.2 GHz. As a graphics accelerator, a PowerVR SGX 544 module with a frequency of 300 MHz is used. This is the latest product from MediaTek, available to the customer since the middle of this year. Its maximum frequency is 1.5 GHz, but here it is artificially low to improve efficiency. The computing power of the resulting system is not very high, but the display resolution is quite small, so the user interface elements on the screen are drawn smoothly, without delay. 1 GB of RAM should be enough for comfortable work in most Android applications, and 16 GB of internal storage, of which about 11.5 GB is available to the user, will allow you to forget about the need to transfer anything to a memory card. However, a micro SD card slot is also included. According to various sources, it supports cards up to 32 or 64 GB, so if you plan to use cards with maximum capacity, this point needs to be clarified. Of the wireless interfaces, there is a traditional Wi-Fi 802.11b, G, N and Bluetooth 4.0 module, as well as a modem for 3G cellular networks. The presence of a modem depends on the configuration. When connected to a laptop or desktop computer with a USB cable, the MTP protocol is used and the mass storage mode is not available. For power supply, a lithium polymer battery is used, consisting of 2 cells with a total capacity of 7,300 mAh. An impressive capacity, coupled with an economical processor, provides extended battery life. For fast charging, The package includes a power supply unit with an output current of 2A. Charging from the USB port of a personal computer is not performed. Software part of Acer Iconia Tab A3. As already mentioned, the device is running Android OS, version 4.2 Jelly Bean. It is not the newest version currently available, but it is already well run in and provides a high level of stability. Its somewhat primitive user interface has been left unchanged, which guarantees high speed and does not require the user to relearn immediately after purchase. However, Acer has made many small improvements to improve the usability of the device and increase its functionality. The first thing that catches your eye is the button for blocking the automatic rotation of the image by the gyro sensor. It is located on the very dark strip where the three system buttons are: back, home and recently called applications. No doubt, the auto-rotate function works in a timely and accurate manner, but sometimes, nevertheless, I want to turn it off. In order not to wade through the jungle of settings for this each time, it is easier to press the button once, which is always in sight. This obvious improvement the company called the sonorous phrase and telespin technology. Another subtle but useful improvement is the unlock gestures. Working title Acer Tuck Wake app. It allows you to wake up the tablet without using the switch, just by touching the screen with 5 fingers at once, or 2 large ones, taking it with both hands by the edges. Conveniently? Certainly. And don't worry, there won't be any battery drain because this feature uses hardware interrupts. Music lovers will certainly like the support for Dolby Digital Plus sound enhancement technology. In addition to the built-in acoustic processing technologies such as surround sound, speech correction or auto volume, this includes a colorful multiband equalizer, the work of which affects all applications. There is also a set of special applications developed in the company's laboratory. This includes the Program Master Acer Cloud, as you might guess, facilitating access to proprietary cloud storage. Zenio allows you to download and view electronic versions of a huge number of popular newspapers and magazines. And the application TuneIn, listen to streaming radio stations. The system application camera is also somewhat unusual, especially in the settings. Accessories. A very curious addition to the tablet will be accessories developed by Acer. These include a keyboard stand, made in the form of a narrow book. The top cover protects the keyboard during transportation, and also has notches on which it can be folded like a kind of stand on which the tablet is installed. In this form, we get something like a laptop, but with a narrower keyboard part than the screen, and without a touchpad. The keyboard has 83 keys with little travel but a nice soft click. The keys are lined up in 6 rows, and the top row is entirely occupied by the so-called multimedia keys, which include buttons for adjusting the screen brightness, sound volume, controlling the music player, calling the browser, etc. Below we see the standard QWERTY layout, of course, without an additional block of numeric keys. The cursor arrows are slightly smaller than the other buttons, but are located quite conveniently. To work inside there is a separate small battery, charged via micro USB connector. The keyboard is connected via the Bluetooth interface. Another accessory is a folder case for the tablet itself. Its lid can also be folded into a stand, allowing you to install the case both vertically, with a slight tilt back. In this position, it is convenient to watch movies on it, and horizontally, also with a slight tilt, so you can comfortably type on the tablet's on-screen keyboard. The fastening of the latter inside the cover is carried out with plastic latches. The case allows you to set the tablet at an angle. Acer Iconia Tab A3 test results. The Iconia Tab A3 display, when measured with a spectrophotometer, confirmed the declared characteristics. The measured brightness coincided with the indicated one within 1%. Which fits into the measurement error of the device, and the contrast turned out to be even slightly higher. The performance of the processor is also quite good. Taking into account the lower frequency of the latter, we expected to see more modest results. However, it is noticeable that he struggles with productive 3D games. Test GFX Bench. Well, it is obvious that this is the lot of more powerful and expensive systems, but in terms of battery life, it is a clear favorite. 6 hours of watching full HD video and 15 hours of reading, an excellent result. And it can cope with playing music even longer, 111 hours, or more than 4 days. So the MP3 player from him is great. It is just a pity that for this role he is a bit too big. But the most interesting thing about the tablet is its price. At the time of this writing, it was only expected to enter the retail chain of stores, but its recommended price was already known and amounted to about 11,000 rubles, with a 3G module. It's almost impossible to pick up something similar in terms of characteristics for this amount, except perhaps among Chinese low-quality crafts, and after some time after the start of sales, you can expect its further decline. making it inaccessible to competitors. In terms of the opportunity-price ratio, there are practically no equals to it. It remains only to rejoice at what a wonderful gift Acer has given us for the upcoming new year.